What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with some breaking news regarding The Division 2. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But all of this information and more is on my Twitter page, X if you nasty. So follow me over here at Kamikazevondoom for all of the latest Division news for the entire franchise, whether it be Division 1 through 3, Heartland, Resurgence, or even the Division movie. Now, in today's video, we just got confirmation, what I've been leading to the last few videos, and that is we are having a special report live stream on Monday. All right, so this is going to be on February 5th. So that is in 3 days. And it's going to start at 10:30 Eastern, and they will be live streaming that on Twitch. Now, of course, I will be live streaming it on YouTube like I do every single time they do these events. So, like we do every time, we'll get together a little bit beforehand, and we will watch this entire special report together, do live reactions, Q&A, we'll do some polls, hang out, do some things like that. So it says right here, set your reminders, join us on February 5th as we go live to tell you all about Year 5 Season 3, Vanguard, and Project Resolve. So remember, Year 5 Vanguard is the name of their Season 3, and Project Resolve is the list of all of the changes that are coming with this update. So they are two different things, but they are the same because they are coming out on the same day. So we will learn everything about Vanguard and what's to come in our next season on Monday. Remember that this season, being Vanguard, we are going back to New York City. So that's a big deal. We are going back to New York City. And if we go back to their post, you can see they've been teasing this a little bit. See right here? Uncovering the truth sometimes means reopening old wounds. Vanguard arrives soon, and then obviously it's all about New York City. So what they're doing with this season is Vanguard is going to take us back to New York, and then the next season, Season 4, is going to give us it was supposed to give us the new DLC, so we're going to have to figure out what they're doing with that. So, I don't know. But their old timeline was Season 1 and 2, we rebuild the castle. Season 3, we go back to New York. And then Season 4, we get our new New York DLC. But remember, they did push the DLC a full year. So I'm not sure how they're going to continue on with that. We'll see. All right. So that is about the Vanguard and about their live stream. Again, I'll be live streaming it beforehand, so you'll see me on YouTube. But for everyone asking why is this so important, there's a lot of changes coming. So just to quickly remind you, because some of these haven't changed at all, I'm just going to give you the high notes on what is changing with this update. Now remember, this update's going to go live on Tuesday, so this is a pretty big deal. All right, so first off, for the Dark Zones, they are making it to where the rogue timer is going to be longer in the non-invaded Dark Zones. Status effects are now going to have diminishing returns in PvP, and that includes the Pestilence. So if you're using any sort of status effects builds or a Pestilence build in PvP, just remember every time you give that person either that damage over time debuff or that status effect, it will have diminishing returns each time you put that effect on a player. So that's going to be something a little bit different for PvP. Also, all repairing skills will also give you hazard protection for 5 seconds of 50%. So that's pretty big. And that's to all repair skills. So that's pretty damn big. As far as conflict changes going there, the rewards are supposed to get better. We'll see. We can't confirm that until the game actually, releases this update. Also, they decided not to add the turrets or anything into conflict, and all they're going to do is once you leave your spawn area, you will have gear lock, so you won't be able to leave your spawn area and then switch your builds over. Other things to note for PvP. They are fixing the corner glitch. So after Tuesday, they should have fixed that. And that's pretty much for PvP. All right. So that was nice and easy, right? So talking about PvE, it's a little bit of a different story here. Now, I'm going to fly through this because they did make some other changes. I just want to update everybody on what to expect come Monday with all the information. And then Tuesday, we'll be able to actually, use all this stuff. So it's going to be pretty cool. Okay. So for health, a lot of people keep asking about health. Here's the change. Now, this is what's going to go into effect come Tuesday. So if you are over shade level 2000, you will be able to have all max stats and max health. If you are below shade level 2000, you won't be able to have max health, but you'll have max stats if you're between shade levels 1000 and 2000. They changed that. It used to be 10,000 to get max health. Now they're lowering it down to 2,000. So if you are shade level 2000 or higher, you will now be max level and max health for your shade watch. They are adding that tinkering station, which will remove the recalibration and optimization choices. It's a really good one. I like that change a lot. The instant armor kits will only give you 25% of your armor, so just remember that. You will be able to do instant armor kits on Tuesday, but just remember it's only a quarter of your armor, and that will take away a full armor kit unless you're using like efficient or perfectly efficient. Gear combat lock, just ignore that. They're taking that out all together. As far as the new expertise cost, this is huge. This is really big because it used to cost well over 100 exotic materials to go from levels 11 to 24. And now we're going up to 25 for expertise. So they dramatically lowered the cost of expertise upgrades. So everybody should be able to expertise upgrade all of their stuff with ease come Tuesday. Now, all that changes is expertise 11 to 25. So what I would do if I were you is just expertise upgrade your stuff up to 11 and then just wait for Tuesday and then expertise it from 11 to 25. That way you can take advantage of those lower requirements. Another great change coming on Tuesday, your projects. You're going to get so many more rewards for your projects, both daily projects and weekly projects. You'll be able to get more exotic components, more drops, more caches, everything. So they're really making it to where doing those projects will give you some good stuff. Daily projects, just talked about that. They are increasing the rewards to conflict. All of those projects have all been changed. All of these projects, and you can see. All right. So as far as weapon balancing, this is not so much weapon balancing in my opinion. It's more of they're just pushing all of the weapons no one really uses up a little, and they're trying to get it to where people are going to use them. The biggest takeaway from assault rifles, everyone and their mom wants to talk about the F2000 and Splinter Shield, or Shield Splinter. Hey, shout out to Splinter Shield. Anyways, a lot of people are talking about this weapon because it's getting a buff of 50 RPM and 10 mag size. Now, just remember that these weapons are missing an attachment slot. So getting the plus mag size is nice and the RPM is nice, but just remember you're still losing out on a full attribute compared to all the other assault rifles. Now, another big takeaway people are talking about, where is it? Boop-a-doo, right there at the bottom. So the Eagle Bearer is getting a plus 50 RPM. So that's going to be really nice. A lot of people are using the St. Elmo's over the Eagle Bearer because the St. Elmo's shoots quicker. But if the Eagle Bearer also shot quicker and has tenacity, and you can put damage to targets out of cover on it, I mean, the Eagle Bearer is going to be a nice top tier exotic to use. And I can't wait to try it out a little bit more. So those are your big takeaways from your assault rifles. Everything else, they're just trying to bump it up, but it's not enough to even, talk about it. The shield splinter is going to be nice just because that plus in RPM and mag size with perfect Optimus is a plus plus plus. That it's a really good change for that weapon. The shield splinter being a named weapon as it is needed some love, and this will definitely help it out. As far as the Eagle Bearer having that plus RPM, this is nice because everyone has noticed that ever since the St. Elmo's came out, no one's really been using the Eagle Bearer. So this is a nice little change. Maybe some people will take it back out of the stash, but we'll see. As far as SMGs, anything that really comes out, none of these changes really matter. Let's just be real. The only one I could see that is a good one is this one right here. The Banshee / the Grudge SMG. You get a plus 50 RPM, which is going to make it very fast. It already has like a 900 RPM, I'm pretty sure. And they're adding weapon damage, so you're getting more DPS. It's going to shoot faster and harder. I mean, that's nice. That's a good change for that weapon. I love using the Banshee for like Negotiator's Dilemma, stuff like that. As far as the LMGs, this one's really big and not a lot of people are talking about it. All of the LMGs are getting a plus 20%. That's really strong. As far as what LMGs I would use, I would maybe lean towards like the RPK or the L86 just because of their faster reloads. Because using something like the M, 249 or maybe like the M60, their reload speed is just atrocious. So I don't know. There's a lot of testing that needs to go into this, but increasing the Iron Lung by 10% is crazy in my opinion. The Iron Lung is already very strong, and to add even more damage to it, I mean, that's a clear meta when it comes to LMGs. Because not only are you making it hit even harder, but it makes all of your enemies catch fire. So that's going to be pretty crazy to see. As far as rifle changes coming on Tuesday, big takeaways. They're all getting nice changes, but they're rifles. So the only ones that I would really use would maybe be the Harmony for that perfectly in sync. Maybe the Ravenous, maybe, but that's about it. As far as marksman rifles, this was crazy. These buffs were insane. The Model 700 is the clear winner. So start getting your Model 700s now. So Eckham's Long Stick, Model 700, M700 Carbon, all of these, M700 Tactical. These are getting a crazy buff. These are, after testing in the PTS, these are by far the strongest. Followed by, something like the Nemesis. Okay. Another good change, the Carbine 7 and the Stoner LAMG will now drop with random talents and not those fixated talents, so that's good. Okay. As far as these changes, we'll come back to those because they updated those again. For Descent changes, they did make it easier to get to the Nemesis and Descent. However, they did not change the amount of NSA tokens you get. So let me just try to explain this to you as quick as possible. They made it quicker to get to the Nemesis, but you're going to have less talents, so it's going to be harder to defeat the Nemesis, and you're not getting as many NSA tokens if you're just farming the Nemesis and then, leaving Descent. So it's going to make farming those NSA tokens even harder, but it will make it quicker to go through a Nemesis run. I don't know if I like that change. I think that if they were to keep it this way, at least add more NSA tokens. Because if you're going to make it quicker for you to go to the Nemesis and just complete Descent and do it again, at least make it a little more worthwhile. Because now you're making it faster, but we're not going to get as many rewards. So it's like, well, we should have just kept it the way it was. They are also adding the reconstructed cache to the NSA station. They have not told us how expensive it'll be, but expect to hear more on that on Monday. As far as other things from the NSA station, we will be able to purchase exotic caches, named item caches, the 4 Descent outfits, and the new exotic that will be exclusive to Descent, the Vindicator exotic rifle. So all of those will be added to the NSA station. That's why everybody has been saying farm Descent now, because after this update, it's going to be harder to farm it, and all of these things will be out. So you kind of want to get ahead of the curve. Go ahead and farm it now, get all your tokens now, so that when this update does go live, you can just buy it all up and then be good. They're kind of reliving Kinley College with Descent, where once this happens and everyone buys what they want, they're not going to go back to Descent. So I'm not sure what they're going to do after that. Because once I have all the reconstructed caches and I have all the outfits and the new exotic, what's the point? All right, moving on. Anything else that you should know about? That is it for that part. Okay. So that was the phase 1. Now, just to let you in on a little thing, Daria, I think I retweeted it actually. Let me show you what Daria said, because she kind of gave us a little sneak peek yesterday when she was getting her patch notes together. So she said right here, 32 pages of patch notes and counting. And that's just for this upcoming update. So that's why I'm showing you all these things now, because it's going to be a lot tomorrow. They're going to be talking about a lot of crap. Okay, now let's see. Anything from the developer notes? So we'll talk about both of the developer notes and then get out of here, because these are changes on top of the patch notes I was just breaking down. So they are not going to add stability or accuracy to these weapons. They wanted you to use the new exotic gloves to, help with that. They are not buffing the Mantis. It's too strong. They are not changing the Dr. Home exotic. They're leaving it the way it is. They are looking at the Regulus, Nemesis, and Scorpio for PvP, but they're not sure what they're going to do about that. What else? That was pretty much it for these developer notes. I like doing this the fast way, because reading all of it gets pretty painful pretty quick. And then yesterday, we got these developer notes. So the new Behind You talent that is coming with the new season starting on Tuesday will only be exclusive to rifles and marksman rifles. So just remember that. You're not going to be able to put it on SMGs or ARs or LMGs or anything like that. Shotguns, none of that. It's just specific to rifle and marksman rifle. Think of it as like, how opportunistic is shotguns and marksman rifles? This one is just going to be rifles and marksman rifles. I do not like that, but whatever. Another thing, when I was reading this yesterday, they did say that they considered this a bug, which was weird, in my opinion, because in the very next sentence, it says we have decided to limit the use of the talent. So it was kind of weird that one sentence they say, this is considered a bug and unintentional. And then it says, well, now we've decided to limit the use. That was pretty funny. Also, another thing with the Behind You talent, because a lot of people were talking about how crazy the damage is going to be. Not only are they limiting it to rifles and marksman rifles, but they are also lowering the damage. Apparently, whenever this was released in the PTS, all of their damages were amplified damage and not just weapon damage. And so they decided to reduce it very dramatically, actually. So from 40 to 15, that's a huge knock. And then this one from 60 to 20. So again, big changes to those talents before they're even released into the game. Another thing I want to note is they did nerf the Vindicator exotic rifle from 75% to 40% because it is also amplified damage. So I don't know. It's like they're putting these damage increases together and they're not sure if it's additive or amplified, so they're like, is this multiplicative, is this additive, what are we doing here? And they wait for us to test it and then they're like, oh, that's amplified, and then they adjust it accordingly. It's kind of weird because they've developed this long before we tested it, and they had other people test it before the PTS. So I just find it very odd that all of these changes happen after the PTS when there's really only a handful of us that even cover the PTS. So it's kind of crazy. All these changes come after the PTS gets their hands on it, even though they've had paid testers and the ETF and other groups to test this beforehand. So it's kind of odd. Another thing that was kind of odd for me that I saw here, they're taking Hunter's Fury, the 3-piece bonus, and they're cutting it in half. So instead of the 100% health on kill, you're only going to get 50% health on kill. Kind of odd that they would do that. I understand they are adding more health into the game, but it's really not a big player. Again, health is probably one of the worst attributes in the game. So even if they were to add more health, it doesn't matter. I don't know. It's like adding more explosive resistance. Like if you have a certain mortar build, it's not going to matter. Same with those old shrapnel traps. All right, another thing, they did confirm that new exotic will be locked behind Descent. So again, farm Descent now. That way you can buy all of these things through the NSA store day one, and then you don't have to ever worry about it. Also, they're trying to defend these new exotic gloves. I think they're one of the worst things being added to the game. We'll try them out on Tuesday, but again, it says here that they're giving it stability, and they're giving it accuracy, and we were only able to test it with stability, but even still, it's really not going to help. Hip firing and blind firing from cover are some of the worst ways of playing this game, where a majority of the players are running and gunning or they're sitting in cover. They're not going to blind fire from cover because that's not as accurate as actually aiming from cover. And they're not going to run out in the open and hip fire when you could easily just ADS. It kind of blows my mind. But we'll try this new pair of exotic gloves out next week, and then we'll go from there. Gear lock, they did decide to take it all off, except for in conflict for some ungodly reason. All right, that I believe is it. Oh yeah, the last changes to the brand sets. I believe they are in these patch notes right here. Here they go. Okay. So we do have the new brand set, the Palisade Steelwork. That is giving us armor on kill, health, and a skill tier. So that's going to be a cool new brand set to try out. I'm excited for that one. Remember, we will get the new chest piece, Perfectly Explosive Delivery. It was a lot of fun with Perfectly Tamper-Proof. I showed this with a decoy, and my decoy, just the decoy, was doing over 2 million damage every 5 seconds. It was ridiculously fun. And a lot of people were like, why don't you use other skills with it? It's like, dude, it's going to happen. I just wanted to show you guys what it would do with a decoy. Just imagine what that's going to do like decoy hive seekers, chem launchers, the works. You're going to be killing people with all these skills. Um, and then that kind of leads me to this gear set. Aegis gear set gives you health, armor, and then this new stoic talent giving you damage resistance. It's okay, but it's not good enough to actually apply to the game. If you're running solo, it is more beneficial for you to run Memento, Hunter's Fury, and Unbreakable. That way, you're not dying. You get your armor back, you get your health back on kill, and you have amplified damage from the Hunter's Fury. Um, there's just no way around that. Where I see what they're trying to do here for like solo players and stuff like that. You get a lot of damage resistance because all of these enemies are targeting you. So on paper, it makes sense. But as far as application, comparing this to something like a Bloodsucker build or like a Memento build, something like that, where you have a lot of survivability and damage at the same time, it's kind of hard to put this gear set into the fold. It will be fun to try out some cool hybrids with these two bonuses being crazy health and crazy total armor. But as far as the 4-piece and actually putting this one into play, it's not going to be as top tier as we'd like. The new exotic gloves suck. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not being a hater. I'm just being honest. I tried it out. The new Vindicator exotic rifle is a lot of fun. However, they did nerf this 75% weapon damage down to 40, so that is going to be hitting a lot less. The new Mosquito exotic pistol is going to be fun. However, it will only be in a group, and it will only really help with bosses or named enemies. Everything else, it's really not a good exotic. However, if you use it in those scenarios with a group against bosses, things like that, this will be a really good pistol to use, especially if you could be like the tank, decoy, and then have all your other teammates just kill that enemy. It could work. But for everything else in the game, nah. Behind you, perfect behind you will only be for marksman rifles and rifles. We know that now. What else? Anything else to mention? The system corruption did get a double. They doubled the damage that you get for the 4-piece bonus. So that's good for system corruption. They took away the increase in intimidate. So that kind of sucks. Let's see. Anything else? Let's go down to the brand sets. We talked about all those weapons. All right, here we go. Brand set changes. And then we done. Okay. Now, again, all of this is going to go into effect on Tuesday. And here we go. So, brand sets. Alp Summit. We're getting a change to skill duration and skill haste. Why? I have no idea. China Light. We're getting a change to skill haste and status effects. Again, why? I have no idea. Electrique is getting more SMG damage for the 3-piece. Okay, I guess. That could be, useful. But the status effects and the electric protection, it's just not worth the 30%. Maybe it will be. I don't know. We'll see. Empress International, they are not changing anything on that. Even though this is highlighted, it's already 10%. Hana Yu, they are keeping the skill damage at 10% again, but they're doubling, no, that's the same weapon damage now too, isn't it? Oh no, it's 10% now. Nice. So they increased the weapon damage to Hana Yu, but they lowered the skill damage. For Murakami, they increased the repair skills and the skill damage for this one. So Murakami is the only one getting the skill damage increase. They lowered the Empress in the Hana Yu back to its normal 10%. And then for Richter and Kaiser, they increased the explosive resistance and the repair skills. Finally, for this page, Wyvern is getting an increase to status effects and skill duration. Our next page, 511 is getting an increase to health and hazard protection. The health for the one piece, okay, I guess. The hazard for the three piece, I don't know. Just really seems worthless. Because why would you waste health and incoming repairs just for a little bit of hazard when you could run, something else? I don't know. Badger Tough is getting more armor on kill for the three piece. So, that's cool. You get shotgun, total armor, and armor on kill. That could go well with Bellstone Armory and the new Palisade brand set that gives you armor on kill as well. Talking about Bellstone Armory, we are getting more incoming repairs. For Brazos, they are giving us more mag size. For Heligard, we are now getting 60% health and 2% armor regen for the three-piece. For Golem Gear, we are now getting 1.5% armor regen and 10% total armor for the three-piece. For Habsburg Guard, we are now getting 20% marksman rifle and 20% status effects. For the Lingmo, we are getting more skill health and LMG damage. And finally, for Usina Getica, we are getting more hazard for the three-piece. Out of all of these, the only ones I really care about, Badger Tough with the extra armor on kill would be fun to try out with the Scorpio or the Mop. The Brazos extra mag size is going to be fun. The Heligard more armor regen is going to be fun. The Golem Gear more armor regen and total armor is going to be fun. But that's really about it. Okay. Now let's go to our third one and final one of the evening. Okay, Seska is now going to give you 90% health. I tried this out and I got my health up to 1.6 million. Why? Just because I wanted to see how high it would go. Was it worth it? No, not really. Not really. Again, health is not a good attribute. They are pushing it, but when push comes to shove, you want more armor than you do health. You want armor and you want damage. If you want armor and health, you're not going to have damage. And if you just want health, you're not going to have armor. So it really does not make any sense. Where in the first division game, everything was health, so it made sense. In this game, you have armor and health. Your health doesn't really matter. It's all about your armor. I don't know. Just my 2 cents. Douglas and Harding is getting more stability and accuracy. Fenris is getting more reload speed and weapon stability. Grupo is getting more explosive damage, which is crazy in my opinion. Petrov is getting more weapon handling and ammo capacity. Overlord is getting more accuracy and weapon handling, which is weird because weapon handling gives you accuracy, so it's getting way more accuracy. And finally, Walker and Harris is getting 10% damage to health instead of 5. Now, in this list, the ones that I like the most, the explosive damage on Grupo is going to be crazy. I don't know why they did that, but it's going to be fun. And then the last one would be Walker and Harris getting that extra damage to health just to melt those health players even quicker. Okay. Now, those are all of the changes we will be breaking down again on Monday with the devs, and then we will be able to play and apply all of this to the game on good old Tuesday. Okay. Now, that is it. As far as their known issues board, nothing has been updated. So I'm showing you right now. Here's the fix live. Nothing's been updated at all. So that's why I just went over those old patch notes, because those are the things that will be happening to the game come Tuesday. But all right, everyone, that was it. I have nothing else for you. But yeah, I hope you have a great day. Enjoy yourself. They're really not talking about much. So I'm excited to see where this is going to take us for New York City. I think that's the biggest takeaway of all this, because the new Manhunt is going to be focused in New York. So I'm kind of curious to see where this is going to take us. And remember, there is another Hunter Hook in New York City. So we do have a Hunter that we're going to have to figure out how to get. But all right, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I am Kamikazevondoom. I know this was a long one, but I just want to get everyone prepared for what's going to be happening next week. We're going to have a big week coming up. And that's going to start on Monday with our live stream going over this special report. So I hope to see you then. Hit the like, subscribe. You know the whole YouTube spiel. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace out.